2K Games recently launched an expansion to last year's best-selling turn-based asymmetric strategy game XCOM Enemy Unknown. The latest game, Enemy Within, runs alongside the original game with added downloadable content that was released over the months, bundled onto one disc. Very handy. Once again, you assume the role of commander of XCOM, the world's underground anti-extraterrestrial organization, and pitted to successfully running in space as well as taking down the threat on ground level. For anyone that hasn't played XCOM before, you could describe this as a management game where you prioritize what to build first, manage resources and kit your soldiers out as they take turns in a chess-like scenario, move into defensive positions and attacking the aliens whilst trying to keep in cover. For anyone that has played XCOM before, then you might find Enemy Within a little harder with a few more things to do per level. By this we mean your average search and destroy mission could occasionally feature new enemies, and also the option to collect a new resource is known as Meld, which is on a countdown timer before it self-destructs. So that means moving forward, defending yourself, fighting a threat, and now grabbing the meld before it disappears. So what is this meld, you ask? Well, Enemy Within allows you to take your soldiers and make them become a mech or cybernetically enhanced. As a mech, you lose your original base skill, so no more heavy, support or sniper class, and become a robot-like frame that fits into a bigger suit equipped with a minigun and a selection of tools, like a flamethrower, grenade launcher, or even boosters to reach higher cover. The cybernetically enhanced augmented soldiers don't look too different from your normal troops, but looks are deceiving, as you can now upgrade their eyes, for example, for better aiming, their skin, for camouflage abilities, and even their legs to jump higher to those vantage spots, better if you're a sniper for example. With having new troops, you're also introduced to new enemies in the game, the Exalt. Different from the aliens, the Exalt are anti-XCOM human enemies, which on paper doesn't sound too threatening. But if you think of it like this, XCOM troops versus XCOM troops, remove the fighting for a good cause factor and replace with undercover agents and terrorists, with the ability to fire rockets just like the XCOM troops do, you'll now see why this foe isn't something to be reckoned with. Having only played the original Enemy Unknown prior to having this, the DLC content packed in with this expansion is a great bonus which really makes this title a lot beefier and certainly gives you more than a few extra hours of content like most DLC is known for doing.
No one who fears reprisal would make an entrance like that.
I'd probably have to point out that being an expansion to the original game, you're thrown into the deep end pretty early on. With the basic training teaching you how to move about the field, you're expected to know a few things as the integrated DLC gets added right from the get-go. Some players who have been playing the original title have had a chance to learn everything already in their playthrough, but with no prior knowledge and expected to collect meld from the get-go, this could be challenging for newcomers. Enemy Within is a great package that is built upon a great game, with a few bugs that sometimes locks the enemy from completing their turn, and some survivors and missions looking dead when they're not, which could be a bit misleading. This game is just a couple of points short from perfect. It has great replayability with the return of the multiplayer head-to-head mode, as well as mechs, so we're glad to see XCOM back.